We get to a point where we don't think that Kanye West can shock us anymore, and then he says something that is so shocking, so alarming. It's one thing to go after Kim, you can say whatever you want, I guess. It's his ex-wife. It's horrible, but he says it. To say things that will redound against the kids is just unforgivable. I mean, we've been through this so many times. We say it all the time. Wearing the Nazi shirt is unforgivable. The Klan hood itself.
It all begins with a father engulfed in controversy and a family caught in the crosshairs of America's obsession with fame. We are watching Ye, once a boundary-breaking artist who shook the music world in a leather kilt, now preparing for a very different kind of stage, the courtroom. No longer cryptically posting from his Wyoming hideout, Ye is now openly waging what he calls a battle for his daughter's innocence, a legal and emotional war against Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. What's at stake isn't just custody or control, but the very image of a family that helped define 21st century celebrity.
You know, the thing about the kids at some point here, and not for the younger ones, it's at some point. For North, it's right now, right? That even if she doesn't see it, even if somehow Kim is able to keep that away from her, the kids her friends at school, they're gonna know about it, they're gonna see it. And it puts the kids in a horrible situation.
Yes, fury isn't subtle. And these days, it's anything but quiet. He's publicly accusing Kim Kardashian of grooming their daughter North West to become the next Kardashian cash machine. At the center of his claims, a belief that North is being transformed from child to brand before she's even reached her teens. But he isn't just pointing at his ex-wife. He's calling out the architect behind the empire, Kris Jenner. According to him, Kris is orchestrating the same playbook she used with Kim and Kylie Jenner, one where a young girl's image, style, and presence are meticulously crafted into a marketing strategy. This isn't just about sequins and TikTok dances anymore. For Ye, it's about a childhood being sold off, one curated outfit, one viral moment at a time. And he's made it clear, he's willing to take the entire Kardashian machine to court to protect his daughter. What's turned this from a post-divorce grievance into a full-blown cultural flashpoint? A single photo, one shot of North in Rome, dressed in a corset and miniskirt, sent the internet into meltdown. Not just the usual trolls or online moralists, but real...
She definitely has Kanye's outgoing personality and will say whatever is on her mind, no matter what it is.
Ye's emotional outbursts aren't random outbursts. They're the soundtrack of a man convinced he's battling a machine built on monetizing and traumatizing women. In his eyes, Kris Jenner is the mastermind behind a dark legacy, a playbook passed down through generations where every daughter is groomed to become a brand. Innocence traded for hashtags, headlines, and glossy magazine covers. And if you think this is just grandstanding, think again. Ye's been dropping cryptic hints for months, speaking of Hollywood sacrifices, secret deals, and shadowy forces pulling the strings behind the celebrity elite. In one explosive rant to a paparazzo, he declared, "They want to monetize and traumatize. My mama was sacrificed. Out here in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Is it paranoia? Or does he know something we don't about what it truly takes to survive at the top?" That's where the whispers about an Illuminati custody deal come in. Industry insiders murmur about secret agreements, favors owed and paid not with signatures, but with silence. Ye has all but accused Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner of trading.
Like you put yourself in that.
Absolutely, I did. That was my fault.
Maybe they're saying that you don't take accountability.
No, that was my fault. I didn't want to have children with this person after the first 2 months of being with her. But that wasn't God's plan.
Every scandal needs its mirror, and Ye's so-called moral crusade is already facing scrutiny for its glaring hypocrisy. While he publicly blasts Kim Kardashian for dressing North West in grown-up outfits, Ye himself parades his current wife, Bianca Santos, through hotel lobbies in see-through mesh and latex, like some Yeezy After Dark promo. And let's not forget the recent uproar over Yeezy's new collaboration with an adult film producer. Yes, you heard that right. Ye is allegedly directing, casting, and art directing content that makes his own marriage look like a fever dream reality show. It gets messier. Sources say Bianca is furious, not just about the business deal, but about being pressured to play this starring role herself. If you're waiting for consistency from Ye, don't hold your breath. This is the same man who, just months ago, was slammed with lawsuits, including one from a former assistant accusing him of inappropriate harassment, explicit messages, and disturbing encounters at 30,000 feet. Ye's legal team, known for turning scandals into countersuits, threatened to flip the narrative on the accuser. So, for those keeping...
You can argue a lot of things about Kanye, but you cannot argue that he's an intelligent...
And now, the legal stakes are climbing even higher. Inside sources say Kim Kardashian is quietly building her own case, gathering evidence of Ye's erratic outbursts and controversial business ventures, especially his adult-focused projects, to argue he's unfit as a guardian. It's a move straight out of the Kardashian playbook. Keep the public front calm, let your ex self-destruct on social media, and quietly compile the receipts for the judge. Meanwhile, Kim posts cryptic Instagram stories featuring Ariana Grande lyrics about heartbreak and moving on, as if sending digital smoke signals that she's playing chess, not checkers. Is she protecting North West's future and making tough parenting decisions? Or is she ruthlessly maneuvering to erase Ye from the picture once and for all? The whispers are growing louder. If Kim succeeds, Ye could face not only
North, she'll go to her dad. She'll be like, Dad is the best. He has it all figured out. He doesn't have a nanny. He doesn't have a chef.
But beneath all the high-profile shouting, there's North West herself. Just 12 years old, caught in the whirlwind between her dad's fight for her innocence and her mom's global empire. Her Rome outfit may have sparked the firestorm, but what about the world she's already living in? Just last month, North's TikTok account, managed by Kim Kardashian, posted a drawing inspired by Ye's latest album artwork. When fans reacted, saying it was too grown-up for a preteen, the post was quickly deleted. The chorus was clear: let the girl be a little innocent. But innocence in this family seems critically scarce. Meanwhile, Kim is doing everything to win public sympathy, positioning herself as the reasonable parent. For North's birthday, Kim threw an extravagant bash in New York, complete with art parties, pizza giveaways, and a surprise guest, streamer Kai Cenat, who ironically was once caught in Ye's crosshairs during a petty feud over pants. The tabloids are already buzzing.
Because she has made this very clear, she wants her kids to have a relationship with their father. She's not trying to stand in the way of that. But when he says things like this, at some point, she has to be thinking, I don't know if this is good for our kids to be.
Outside the family, the sharks are circling. Lawyers are lining up. Media pundits are breathlessly speculating about emergency custody orders, and divorce attorneys warn that social media rants can quickly sink a custody case. Courts generally frown on parents airing their dirty laundry in public, a fact that must haunt Ye every time he posts a meltdown. We've all seen his Instagram tirades, calling out Kim Kardashian, Kris Jenner, even Pete Davidson, accusing them of brainwashing his children and destroying his family. But with every post he sends, Ye isn't just venting. He's handing Kim more ammunition. And it looks like she's ready to use every single one against him. But don't be fooled. Behind the Instagram stories and legal filings, this is a battle over power. Who gets to shape North West's future? Who writes the script? And who ends up erased from it? Ye desperately wants to be the hero, the last man standing against a dynasty of exploiters. But with every scandal, every lawsuit, and every new rumor swirling around his own behavior.
You think about if Harley was part of intelligence, right? What kind of people you think are surrounding my kids? What kind of people you think are in that?
While the world debates who's the better parent or the real villain, lawyers keep filing motions, and tabloids churn out rumors. Meanwhile, at just 12 years old, North West is already facing the harshest truth. In the Kardashian West universe, privacy is a myth, childhood is a luxury, and family loyalty is something that can be bought, sold, or sacrificed depending on who's holding the camera. Now, as we watch Kanye storm the public stage with a self-appointed mission to protect North's innocence, the sharpest contradiction emerges. Despite positioning himself as the sole defender of his daughter, Kanye's alliances paint a far more complicated picture.
Take Diddy, for example.
A man whose reputation is riddled with allegations and lawsuits. So serious, they would make even the most hardened reality TV producers uneasy. Yet, Kanye chooses to publicly and repeatedly partner with him. These aren't just casual meetings or polite greetings. They're collaborations, music deals, and creative projects.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard.
And it's not just guilt by association. Diddy's legal troubles have become so widespread that his name is almost synonymous with controversy. From courtrooms to headlines, the negative press keeps piling up. Yet, in the midst of his so-called moral crusade, Kanye seems to completely overlook the victims, ignoring the risks of standing beside a man whose empire could collapse at any moment. How can he demand that Kim shield North from alleged exploitation when he's publicly shaking hands with Diddy behind closed doors? The optics are disastrous, and anyone watching this slow-motion train wreck can see it clearly. Every time Kanye tries to present himself as a hero, his credibility takes another hit. It's not just public opinion turning against him. His lawyers must be pulling their hair out, knowing this kind of hypocrisy doesn't go unnoticed by judges in custody battles. But Diddy's legal battles aren't the only skeletons rattling in Kanye's closet. We can't ignore the growing number of harassment accusations against him, from vivid testimonies of unwanted encounters to former staffers describing a toxic workplace that reads like a deleted scene from The Wolf of Wall Street. The lawsuits are real, the details grim, and settlements remain unresolved. These aren't the tales of a misunderstood genius. They're
because he's in the midst of a manic bipolar episode, or if it's just Kanye being narcissistic and inappropriate and thinking that the rules don't.
Then there's the Bianca Censori situation, a wild card quickly turning into the fatal flaw in Kanye's carefully crafted narrative. The world watched as he swept Bianca, a rising model and architect, into his orbit just weeks after his divorce was finalized. At first, she seemed like just another supporting player in the Kanye show. But everything shifted when Ye's plunge into the adult entertainment industry exploded across social media. Suddenly, Bianca wasn't just a muse. She was allegedly being pressured to become the face of a project she wanted no part of. Insiders say Bianca has been pushed, prodded, and paraded in front of cameras in ways that eerily mirror the kind of exploitation he accused Kim and Chris of inflicting on North. The difference? This time, Ye is the one pulling the strings. If the rumors are even half true, Bianca's frustration is reaching a boiling point. A source close to the couple says she's absolutely furious, and with good reason, describing how Bianca is starting to see her marriage less as a partnership and more as a PR stunt gone wildly off course. She's not just concerned about her reputation, she's terrified about what her future might look like if she can't break free. Friends say Bianca is quietly consulting legal and industry content.
It's interesting to wonder whether this will affect his relationship with his wife or if she knows about this.
Meanwhile, the dominoes keep falling for Ye outside his family circle. His business empire is crumbling, endorsements have dried up, and lawsuits are draining his bank accounts. Even his closest allies whisper that Ye could be broke by next year. These money troubles aren't just tabloid chatter, they're legal leverage. If he can't afford lawyers, security, or even North's private school tuition, it's Kim who foots the bill, and the courts take notice. No judge wants to grant custody to a parent struggling to keep the lights on, especially one whose volatile social media rants are cited by attorneys as a risk to family stability. The Kardashian legal machine is watching closely, ready to strike the moment the scales tip. What's unfolding is catastrophic for Ye's image. Here is a man who built a legacy on disruption and bravado, now trapped by his own contradictions. He demands the moral high ground while cozying up to controversy. He lashes out at Kim for chasing fame while launching ventures that make their family reality show seem tame. He positions.
But that said, he has a long history of wildly inappropriate and bizarre behavior.
What about North? Every move her parents make, every feud, every leaked message, every public spat, shapes the future of a 12-year-old whose life is already a constant spotlight. With Yi spiraling deeper into chaos and Kim quietly building her own fortress of legal and emotional evidence, the question isn't just who will win the custody battle, it's who can come out of it with their dignity intact. If Bianca's rumored testimony lands in Kim's hands, and Diddy's scandals continue to taint everyone around him, the writing is on the wall for Ye's last stand. But as always with this family, there's a twist waiting just off stage. Yi has never played by the rules. And if there's one thing he's proven, it's that every time you think he's finished, he somehow turns disaster into spectacle.
I think he's telling everybody exactly what they don't want to hear.